Here.
All members present, Mayor.
Okay, clerk, could we please rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance? All prayer.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and all our perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in all our dangers and all our sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if I may, I'd like to have a moment of silence for the Riley family, Councilman Riley, who passed away, and Joe Cryan's mom, our Union County Sheriff. So if I just have a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any communications?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Report of recommendation of the mayor. All right, bear with me. I have a lot to say. Big difference from 2 weeks ago. But I forgot to thank Joe Accardi for his 4 years of service and to Casillas for his time up here on council, for their leadership and their ability to help this council get along with here where we are today. I'd also like to thank Councilman Yuckabob, Mr. Templeton, Mrs. Jordan for their efforts, for running along with Viola and Joe and Charlene. I appreciate all that. I appreciate everybody that came out that day to do their votes, and I'm looking forward, to working with this council as I've always have. Just a couple of things here. Back on Sunday, January 4th, I had the honor of going down to the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders for the installation of the 2015 reorganization meeting. I was there to witness the oath of Sarah Court, James LaCourt, swearing in of our new sheriff, Joe Cryan. Also the freeholders, Angel Estrada, Christopher Hudek, and Naverna Wright. And I'd also like to commend Mohammed J. Jalal for being elected the chairman of the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders, and Bruce M. Bergen as the vice chair. It was well attended by a ton of dignitaries. The place was packed. So congratulations to all them. Monday, I had the opportunity of attending the Municipal Land Use Board meeting. I swore in the new officers for the upcoming 2015 season. And I also had the honor of swearing in Mohammed Jalal, the new attorney for the Municipal Land Use Board. Back on Tuesday, January 6th, I had the honor of going over to Linden, New Jersey to see the swearing in of the first black mayor of Linden, Eric Armstrong, and the first Latino council president. So history was made in Linden that night. The good thing about it is I've met with the county freeholders, I met with the mayor of Linden, so for all communications that if we all need anything, we can call, everybody. So I was honored, to be there that night to see that historic swearing in. Monday, January 12th, myself and two of our residents from Roselle Park, we attended the first evening one-seat ride on the New Jersey transit system, and a lot of the other mayors. I'd like to thank one of our Roselle Park residents, Saul Kirsten. I was told to meet in Cranford for the, all the freeholders, the dignitaries, Channel 12 was going to be there, and I said, I bought my ticket in Cranford. So what happened was on the train, Saul Kirsten and Jake Majera, who also rode that night, Saul was nice enough to give me his ticket that shows from Roselle Park to Penn Station, and from Penn Station back to Roselle Park. So, Mr. Butler, can you do me a favor? If I present this to you, could you give this to your wife at the Historical Society?
No problem.
Okay, it's the 2 tickets that were purchased that day for the first time, and a little flyer. So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure she
well,
appreciate
you
it.
can thank Sal, because I felt so bad that I bought my ticket in Granton, but that's the way I was told to go.
Okay, thank you very much. She'll appreciate it.
You're welcome. Tonight, I attended my first joint meetings up in Maplewood. A lot of discussion going on over there, lawsuits and so forth and so on, so we're getting my feet wet on that. I'd like to thank Artie and Gail Russo of Kenilworth Gardens for all the blue ribbons that you see throughout the town to support our local police departments, federal, state, local, county, not only in this area, throughout the state, throughout the country, to show their support for the men in blue. So congratulations to Artie and Gail. If anybody wants to bring up about giving them a resolution, I'd be more than happy to bring them in, give them a resolution. Also, as you know, I had the opportunity of electing myself animal control again for the 7th year. And I just want to report, as of tonight, out of the 734 dogs that we have in the borough, only 166 are registered. And out of the 158 cats that we have, only 45 are registered. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you've heard me say for the last 6 years, you have to get them registered by the end of the month. You will get a warning, and you may get a second warning, and then summonses will be issued. And as always, if there is a problem that you have financially or something that you need, contact me, and I will be more than happy to work with you in any way I can to get your animal registered to avoid the summons. 2 upcoming events. This Saturday, January 17th, is the pizza party at the Church of the Assumption for the numerous pizzerias in the area that are asking for your vote for being the best pizza in the area. And the good news is it's sold out. So I'm still working on it. Maybe a couple tickets that people may not want to come.
Okay, thank you.
And also, I'd like to thank, well, let me just get back on this Saturday, January 24th, from 5 to 8:30 at the Church of the Assumption, the Knights of Columbus are doing a spaghetti dinner to help the Roselle family that, as you know, lost their home on New Year's Day. And I also want to thank not only my brother Knights, I'd like to thank everybody that came for their outstanding support of things that the family needed. Matter of fact, I have people mailing gift cards from Florida, and I have other people that are donating gift cards. So it's nice to see that the media, Facebook, Twitter, so keep them coming. It's devastating to lose anything, but to lose your home on New Year's Day. So I'd like to thank everybody that contributed, to the family. And don't forget, on the 24th, 24th spaghetti dinner from 5 to 8:30, Church of the Assumption, and it's $10 per person. All the proceeds, go to the family. One other thing that I would like to do, apparently I was told that on reorganization day, there was a miscommunication where it wasn't done right. So what I'm asking again is tonight that I'm asking for a vote to elect a council president, a second, and I would like to do a roll call of the members on council for that position. So do I have a motion for council president?
I make the motion.
Second.
For,
The council president for Charlene as council president.
okay, thank you. Seconded by Councilman Yuckelbach. Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please do a roll call for council president?
Councilman Yuckelbach?
Correction was seconded by,
Gino.
and, yes.
Councilwoman Story?
Yes.
Councilman Kelly,
Yes.
Councilman Almarasi,
Yes.
Councilman Miola,
Yes.
and Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
And Mayor, for the record, it was done in a motion. In the minutes, it will reflect that after all the appointments were made needing council confirmation, a motion was made to approve all of the above appointments and nominations requiring council approval. A motion was made, it was seconded, and a roll call was taken.
All right, well, again,
Just for the record.
all right, could have been some communications or whatever, but I just want to clarify, you know.
Doing it twice won't hurt.
You know, the more the merrier. So, that concludes my report. And since we're in the second meeting of the month, I will start with the second ward councilman.
That night, I attended the Roselle Park Youth Baseball meeting. To let everyone know that registrations will be going out shortly. You can also go online at rpybl.org and you can sign up your children there. Also, they're going out in the school system. All the schools will have an application, so you could also, you're going to have an in-person sign-up. The dates are not determined yet, but when I was told there's going to be like 5 or 6 of them. Okay? And if you need to talk to anyone, you could talk to Tracy Scott at 908-875-9222. Also, anyone interested in being a sponsor can contact me at 908-241-7633. And I'm hoping my fellow, the mayor and council will take a sign again for sponsorship. Thursday, January 8th, I attended the municipal service with the DPW. I'm going to leave that up to our chairman, Eugene. And last night I attended the recreation meeting, January 14th. Basketball will be starting up next week. Teams will be picked shortly. And also came up was indoor soccer sign-ups. And the tentative date of the first game will be February 1st. And also people that need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me at jpetrosky@rosellepark.net or at 908-666-7821. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Well, a lot of information to that. Third ward councilman, Mr. Kelly, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just have 2 things. I will be as quick as possible here. A Roselle Park resident reached out requesting for mayor and council support of Assembly Bill 1109. I said I would absolutely bring it to mayor and council for the review, and to be sure everyone has ample time to review, form an opinion. I didn't want to push to have it on tonight's agenda, rather just briefly explain the bill's intent for everybody and allow members of mayor and council to not only have time to review and form their own opinion, but bring more awareness as opposed to just kind of pushing it and we get it approved, just to kind of bring awareness to the bill. And I'll just briefly read what is the bill's intent. Supporting Assembly Bill 1109, which seeks to implement stricter rules and regulations for organizations that house and care for individuals with developmental disabilities, also known as the Stephen Caminos Law. It would improve protections for individuals with developmental disabilities by providing increased transparency of investigations conducted in connection with any allegation of abuse, neglect, or exploitation of individuals with developmental disabilities. And it was created to honor the memory of Stephen Caminos, an individual with developmental disabilities, who some of you may know died at the age of 22 while under the care of a privately licensed facility for persons with developmental disabilities. The adoption of the bill provides for 6 bi-monthly unannounced site visits to be conducted at any facility that houses individuals with developmental disabilities, including but not limited to any public, private agency, organization, or institution providing care. I'd like to have this on next meeting agenda for mayor and council to vote on, and I'll be following up on that. Voting yes will not only say Roselle Park endorses this bill, it will send a message to Trenton that in honor of Stephen Caminos, it is important to the well-being and care of persons with developmental disabilities. As for the current progress of this bill, it's currently waiting to hit the floor for a vote after being unanimously recommended by the Human Services Committee of the Assembly, and that is sponsored and co-sponsored by both Assembly Democrats and Assembly Republicans. But I'll follow up on that with Doreen. And then pass it over to you here.
Okay.
That's actually a resolution from Wayne Township
Great.
or something similar. And last thing here, one last thing, and then I'll say the rest of my comments for tonight's resolutions. I've always thought government could benefit from technological advances, Roselle Park included. And after being appointed chair to the Public Services and Administration Committee as liaison to technology, those thoughts kind of sparked up again. I wanted to bring forth an idea and suggest to Mayor and Council we explore implementing a new way to streamline communication between residents and the governing body. And one way to do that, there's an application specifically designed for local governments to transform how we operate. You may even be familiar with it. It's called Public Stuff. Essentially, it's an app that allows residents to communicate with the municipality at their fingertips, phone, laptop, or computer. For example, a resident can report something as small as a pothole, broken street sign, or even an unsightly neighbor's grass issue. And they can do it through the app, and within seconds the complaint is directed to the appropriate department or departments. Once received and completed, the complaint turned task is now logged as finished, and by the best part is residents can even track the progress of their requests. And Mayor and Council can also track the progress of requests through the application for different departments, just kind of increasing accountability. And one example is just think about all code enforcement complaints, DPW complaints, health department complaints, random complaints that members of council receive, phone calls all throughout the day, weekend and night. The mayor receives phone calls about the DPW, all the different departments. Add on top of that the plethora of complaints logged on Facebook and countless different forums, countless different Facebook pages, and there's just no one-stop shop for such important issues. So Public Stuff would provide a consolidated avenue for the residents of Roselle Park to keep our officials alert to ensure we not only provide the services that their tax dollars invest in, but help us maintain and increase the quality of life. Public Stuff can even help aid in and alleviate the process of requesting construction permits, which I know is always an issue in town. Just a few more things, not only will it help hold officials and employees more accountable, it'll actually make their jobs easier, more efficient, and give taxpayers of Roselle Park a high-quality, streamlined avenue to make requests or log complaints. I did take the initiative to request just general information from a representative from Public Stuff, but I'm bringing this to Mayor and Council to get your input, questions, even just gauge your interest so we can make a collective decision if this is something we should explore further. So if there's no objections or just a blessing, just to have them maybe come in, give a short, brief demonstration or anything like that. Yeah.
As you know, I've always been advocate up, down, sideways, good, bad, whatever. I think it's a great idea. I think make the appointment, set it up either through the committee or if they want to try to come, look before Mayor and Council as long as the agenda is not thing. But just one of the questions I have is just the insurance catastrophic, in case there's anything that's put on here that it's either false, like who's going to be liable, that maybe,
Absolutely.
they can work with our borough attorney, because I don't want to, hey,
Right, I
as you
understand.
hear people coming in about, copper being taken out, and it's not in this town, but it's somewhere. So I'm just,
Right.
I think it's a great idea. I would love to see communications. You know me,
Yeah.
I'll talk my brains out.
Yeah. And I mean, I do have,
Can I say something?
yeah, absolutely.
As far as like you mentioned potholes, the insurance company had mentioned not to get involved in a program like that, because should someone on their phone at 2 in the morning report a pothole, once we're notified, we're responsible to fix that. If a car at 5 in the morning should hit that pothole, we had knowledge of it and would be responsible to repair the next car. So that kind of a thing, I don't know if you want to get involved with, where someone's not manning it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That would create a problem insurance-wise, because like I said, anything, if someone reports a tree branch hanging at 4 in the afternoon, DPW was home at 3:15, the branch falls at 6, the first thing the insurance company or their lawyer asks for from us is there a report of this issue? Do you have, and we would have to say yes, which would then make us responsible for not immediate service.
And
So information is great, you know what I mean, but having them the ability to report problems could create an insurance liability.
And despite all that, I still think it'd be worth, at the very least, exploring. Public Stuff is a massive company. Their stock is continuing to rise. They work with countless municipalities in New Jersey. So I'm sure at the very least, speaking with Roselle, you, Mayor, Council, Borough Attorney, they'll at least be able to shed light on questions such as that. And the reason why I actually came across the app was I was watching neighboring Borough Roselle successfully implement the app. And I briefly spoke with Mayor Holly Roselle, and he said it's a great app for efficiency in government, so those are some questions we could possibly bounce off of him. And he's actually also more than willing to allow any member of mayor, council, borough employee, borough officials to stop in at any time, ask them to check it out in action, just so you could actually get a tangible value of what it is. Because I do have papers here with information, even some of Roselle's statistics as far as how they've increased efficiency and cut down on costs, save money, but just at least get a viewing of it, whether it be through a demonstration by Public Stuff itself, or as I mentioned, Mayor Holly is more than willing to allow any of us to go over there, just check it out live in action, just to kind of get a tangible value out of it. But absolutely, that's something would be a major concerning question from.
I don't know if you know offhand or not, is it a free app or is it?
No, it's not free, so there will obviously be a cost to the borough, and it's based off of population. So an estimate as far as population-wise would be a one-year contract that you would go into. It would be for at least $5,000 or just over $400 per month for the borough. And it's based on population. Mayor?
Question.
Yes,
You were reading about how the people can put in complaints.
absolutely.
We're gonna get like 150 megabytes, or is it?
Well, that's why, well, the company takes care of the servers and bandwidth. That's why the cost is based off of population.
All right.
Okay. They do have,
We got great employees, so we shouldn't get that many, but.
we'll actually make their jobs easier, but
Okay.
you can actually create widgets with it too.
Good comeback, good comeback. Very good, Councilman. Very good. What's a widget? Okay, very good.
But that will conclude my report.
Thank you, a lot of information. Thank you, Councilman Kelly. Fourth Ward Councilman Gene Oswald.
Thank you, Mayor. I have actually no report this evening, but I'm looking forward to having a great meeting next week with the Environmental Committee to make the changes this year, and I'm looking forward also to work with the mayors and all the council members. Thank you.
Thank you. Fifth Ward Councilman Michael Yakubov, please.
Good evening, everyone. Just to add to Councilman Kelly's comments, I also want to support the bill. I think it's a great initiative. I know Wayne was a pioneer in this. I know we have residents in the community that are very motivated to be advocates of bills like this and others in support of individuals that can't necessarily care for themselves. So when they go under care of somebody else, there are levels of expectation that have to be met and exceeded to make sure and ensure the safety and the health. And I think for the Borough of Roselle Park to recognize that, to be able to jump on board with it, and also push it and help our elected officials at the Assembly and the Senate level and beyond to be able to be to acknowledge and recognize and already know that we are supporting their efforts while they're in Trenton. Anything that provides safety for those who are unable to care for themselves, I think is a great initiative and I support it. So, Councilman Kelly, thank you for bringing it up. To your second point, I know a couple of years ago, not to put you on the spot, Saul, I know you had brought that up at a budget meeting that we had in regards to a program similar to, there were no apps at the time back then, but similar to the one that Councilman Kelly is bringing up. And at the time, the council didn't feel that that was the right approach to go. I think years going now, right now is the right approach to go. Access to be able to have information to hazards and issues that residents have, and maybe through when the individual comes in to explain this app, maybe we can identify what items can be reported and what cannot to safeguard ourselves. But I think it's certainly important to entertain this particular initiative. I think it's only going to help the municipality to be more transparent, not just a matter of communication, but a matter of preventing potential injury in the borough. So I would get 100% behind it. I think it's a great initiative. The last thing I'll mention, I had a couple residents reach out to me. They said there have been a couple of groups, not large groups, they mentioned to me about 2 or 3 people at a time knocking on their doors, as it happens once in a while, saying that they're contractors, that they just go around the neighborhood surveying. I had asked them to immediately report that to the police department because not only do the people have to provide identification, but they were not allowed on their property because they noticed that they were going to like the side of their house and taking a look, and they had a camera with them in one instance. So that was very concerning. They told me they will reach out and report it, and I said to them, do not open the door, even if they have identification, because that can be really forged. So just to make the public aware of that, that is ongoing from time to time. It comes and goes in waves, but it is out there. There are scammers out there that are trying to, potentially con you in some way, and just be mindful of your home. So, leave your lights on, things like that. The little things are important too. So, yeah.
Maybe you might want to contact the chief, maybe put him on the Union County alerts.
That's a great idea, actually. I will.
And we had that app running. We can use that too.
Right, and the residents didn't want to give their names, so I didn't, obviously, I don't know if they ended up calling the police department, but I told them, it'd be good for you to be able to communicate that forward. But I think that's a great idea. I will send an email, so thank you.
The more information that goes out.
And that was about a couple weeks ago, so.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President, Councilwoman Shirley Story, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I also would like to send my sincere sympathies to the families of Pat Riley and also to Joe Cryan in this time of their loss. As far as the bill for the developmentally disabled, as somebody who grew up with a developmentally disabled sibling and is now the legal guardian of my little brother, 50 cents a little. I certainly support any bills that will help to protect these people who are not able to protect themselves, as Councilman Yucca put it. I'd like to welcome a new business in town. We have a new cafe right across the street, and it certainly is beautiful, and it has great products, and I hope that I wish them all the success in the world, and I hope everyone will stop in and check them out. Okay, just going over a few things. Councilman Kelly has taken over the Tech Committee, but just to wrap up something from last year, the Tech Committee did recommend a provider for a new website for the borough, and we have also someone else who has presented their version of that, and that is going out to all members of council to take a look at those two proposals, so that we can finally move ahead on that. It took some time to get all the questions answered, get the I's dotted and the T's crossed, but we're there now, and I hope that can move forward. Okay, on Monday, January 5th, I attended the fire department meeting at the Lorraine Firehouse. I was glad to be able to introduce myself to everyone, and this Sunday I'll be getting the nickel tour from the fire chief, and I look forward to working with the fire department this year. On Tuesday, January 6th, I attended the Board of Education meeting. Christopher Miller has been re-elected as the president of the board, so I wish him all the success in the world. The next meeting will be on coming up at the Alvine School, and I can see from looking at this that I have the wrong date. It's the 20th, January 20th, next week. So let me double check that it is the Alvine. And I don't have the location. Okay, my apologies. Give me a call if anyone wants to know the location. Wednesday, January 7th, along with Councilman Petrosky, I was at the Casano Center. That meeting mainly served as an orientation for new committee members, discussed a few issues that have been held over from last year. They have been forwarded to the correct departments. The next meeting will be on Wednesday, February 4th. The Friends of the Library had their first meeting of the new year. Was past Tuesday night. Anyone who wishes to join or become involved, the meetings are held on the second Tuesday of the month at 5:15. The FOL has plans for 50/50, which will be ending sometime shortly after Easter, so you can put the 50/50 tickets in all those Easter baskets. And there'll be more news on that, and as always, all the proceeds from that go to the children's programs at the library, particularly the summer programs which the FOL supports in its entirety. This coming Monday, the 19th, the Historical Society will have its first meeting of the year at 7 p.m. Old members, new members, you don't even have to be a member, please come by. The 21st, Wednesday, will be the first library board meeting, 7 p.m. Again, everyone is welcome. That is at the library. The 28th will be Ed Beissel's art show reception at the Casano Center from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. His calligraphy is just wonderful, and Leona has done a beautiful job of mounting it, and it really is well worth seeing, and Ed would be well worth just coming by to meet Ed, who is a very interesting artistic person, a former New York City police officer, and just a great asset to our community. And I think that's about it. Thank you.
Is scholarship to the Board of Education?
Oh, yes.
Please.
Yeah, I don't think I have that with me, perhaps you, but I passed on to Superintendent Garrido. We are participating in a statewide scholarship program where a committee, which will be made up of myself, our librarian, Susan Calentano, and also the president of the Friends of the Library, Kim Powers, will judge 500-word essays that are submitted on what the municipality does well. This is sponsored by the New Jersey League of Municipalities, and the winner from Roselle Park will certainly be recognized, and then will then go on to compete with other winners from other municipalities statewide. And the essays are due March 10th.
Is this going to come in through an email, an iTunes, Twitter, or are the kids going to have to actually do a 500-word essay on a computer and print it?
They probably will manage to print it.
Or are they going to send it to us on an app?
I make no predictions.
Technology is just overwhelming. It's just, thank you, everybody. A lot of information went out tonight. Thank you. Okay. I'm getting it. Now for our Borough our Finance Chair, Ken Blum. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I forgot about Eugene.
Everybody forgets me. Thank you, Mayor.
I'll get better as time goes on.
That's fine.
I promise.
You and me both. Thank you, everyone. You're going to have to be patient with me. I might get a little nervous. I'm not a good public speaker. On Reorganization Day, I said thank you to a few people, but I missed a hell of a lot more than I did say thank you to. 3 women, the late Jean Merrill, which pushed me to give politics another try. Peggy Schaefer, I miss her dearly. She was inspirational. And one more who's still with us is Mary Kretsch. These 3 women at times were a little overbearing. They made me go on when a few times I didn't think I wanted it anymore. So I'm here, and I know you're there looking down at me. Be easy on me, okay? That's all I have to say about that. Now, we had a meeting January 8th at the DPW, the Department of Public Works upstairs, and Joe, next to me, this big guy, he showed, Mike was busy that night, but we got a lot accomplished. A lot of introductories. I like to get to know what's everybody doing, what's everybody's job. I want to be in the know. I want the public to know that I'm going to be involved. I represent the first ward, but I'm the chairman of the Department of Public Works, but I want to hear from people. I want people to call me up. My phone number is 908-666-7824. Now that first 666 scares a lot of people, but you could call anyway. I'm going to be a hands-on council person. You could call me and I'll come over your house and look at it myself. I don't like to pass things on to other people. So you could send me an email or text me, but there's a good chance that if you call me directly, I'll be at your front door to see exactly what you're talking about. You're going to see my face. So that being said, I got a call already, and I dealt with it the best I could, and I think I got it fixed quite fast, considering the amount of time I had. I want to hear from people because I want your input on what you think I should do to make the Department of Public Works and the First Ward in general a better place to live. I know people have a very busy schedule. Just coming here, I could see that people coming home late, working longer hours, and making less money doing it. So I know that, you know, Roselle Park's not the first thing on their mind when they come home. But their home is their castle, and if something is wrong in front of their house, I want to know about it. So please feel free to call me. Again, 908-666-7824. And that, I guess, concludes my report this month, this time. Don't forget me the next time.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ken Bond, please.
Thank you, Mayor. We're finished wrapping up, closing out the year, starting off the new year. The auditors are in, working on the unaudited financial statements. We filed the debt statement today, and I spoke with Councilwoman Stories, the finance chairwoman. We would like to set up the budget meeting, see if everybody is available for Wednesday, February the 11th at 6 p.m. Wednesday, February 11th, 6 p.m.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. Sure. I'm good.
I'm great with the date, possibly at 6:30 maybe. Whatever. Just keeping home.
Or whatever. 6:30.
Whatever works,
We'll
I'll make it work.
make it 6:30.
6:30?
This way everybody can...
Okay. Madam Clerk? Yes, upstairs. It'll be upstairs in the conference room. And Mr. Mayor, I have one item for closed session, DPW contract negotiations.
Okay, sir. DPW contract. Right. That's it. Thank you for your information. Our Borough Clerk, Doreen Cowley, please.
I just would like to add to the mayor's comment about the dog and cat licenses. Even if your dog and cat is no longer with you, either it passed or you gave it away, you must notify the borough and let us know the status of the animal. If the dog or cat was licensed in the borough in the year 2014, we have no way of knowing the status of the animal, and we will issue a summons if we're not notified. So please notify us of the status of your animal if you no longer have it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Borough Attorney, Mr. Rich Oxford.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, next meeting I'll have an update on the outstanding legal matters for Mayor and Council, also the status and where we are with regards to possible settlements. Right now I have two closed matters. There's a joint closed matter with the CFO involving the SID, and then there's one possible litigation with the SID, and also possible litigation involving the owner of 10 Colfax Manor, State Church.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the reports of the departments that are listed on the agenda, please?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve the reports of departments.
Second.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now seeing that we're ahead of schedule, may I have a motion to open this meeting to the public?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to open the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those wishing to come up and speak, please give your name, address, and what you would like to say.
Carl Placino, 203 Walnut Street. The reason I came here tonight was to thank a lot of people for the opportunity for working with the borough. I absolutely love my job, and I felt compelled to come here tonight to let you know how I feel, and you know, just to let you know, again, I'm not much of a public speaker myself, so I share your pain. I personally want to thank, first off, Maureen Cali. She's been an absolute doll to me, a help every time I had a problem. She was always there to help me out and guide me in the right direction. And I can't thank her enough, and I will miss you. Ken, I'm sorry that I'm the only other guy in the office and you're going to be stuck with all of those women. But, you know, it's the way it goes, brother. There'll be someone else in there, you know. And again, and Mr. Huxford, I can't say enough about you. You've become a great personal friend. You know, we've worked together for, what, 6 years when you were the prosecutor. And you taught me a lot. And, you know, thank you. The rest of mayor and council, you know, I could tell that all your hearts are in the right place, and also Park is in great hands. And I want to thank you all. You know, a lot of times, you know, we butt heads because of just the nature of my job. But you've always had my back, and I appreciate it very much. And I just want to let you know that I'm moving on, not away. And if anybody ever needs me for anything, Mayor, you have my number. You can call me at any time. I love this town. I live in this town. I'm not abandoning the town. Like I said, I'm just moving on. So I'd be more than happy at any time when you need me. Just call me. And with that, I want to thank you all for the opportunity, and have a good night.
I have you on speed dial.
Carl, thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you for your service, Carl.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Leona Sufer, 22 East Westfield Avenue. On Monday, January 26th at 6:30, and it'll be 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Casano Center, I'm starting a monthly poetry evening, Painting with Words. It'll vary from month to month. This month we will look at Ed's lovely calligraphy, and I'll read some of the poems that he's illustrated. And I'm hoping that every month this can get, you know, more and more people. There'll be times where I'll do some poetry workshops. It'll always be a chance for people to come and also read their poems. So if anybody out there wants to learn about poetry, or read poetry they've written, or listen to poetry, come out and paint with words. And also, Ed's reception is from 5 to 7. Did you mention that? No. Yeah, you did. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
You mentioned it again.
On Wednesday, January 28th. So come out and meet the wonderful artist of these poems. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
What date? What time is that?
Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me? Okay. My name is Martha Cray, 137 Charlotte Terrace, Roselle Park, Ward 1. And I'd like to wish Mayor and Council a Happy New Year. And Mayor Hokinson, congratulations on your recent winning your election. And I'm sure you'll do a great job. And it's nice to see new faces here as well. And we're here tonight to thank you for supporting the resolution, the adoption of the resolution for the Stephen Camino's bill. My husband and I have lived here for ever, not forever, 39 years. And we have a lovely developmentally disabled young man named Billy, who's been in and out of group homes, developmental centers, and been in crisis for the duration of his life. And he was abused in the most horrific way, and actually was a housemaid with Stephen Caminos in a group home in South Jersey. And my son survived, Stephen didn't. And I became an outspoken advocate and working with other families who we became a little bit of a coalition, and the Family Alliance to Stop Abuse and Neglect, and we're meeting with legislatures for all different reasons, and we're really blessed in New Jersey to have legislatures on both sides of the aisle. This bill is A1109, a bipartisan bill, and we feel very passionate about it. We feel very strong that we need this bill to be passed into law. By your support, it'll kind of give the bill a little bit of an extra edge, if I may, and hopefully it'll be signed into law. We are hoping, we've been working on this bill for 4 years, and in the Assembly, it's like Councilman Kelly had mentioned, it was unanimously passed through the Assembly Health and Human Services Committee chaired by Assemblywoman Valerie Veneri Huddle, who is a huge advocate of the developmentally disabled. So, you know, I want to thank you for your support and for your comments and support, Councilwoman Story, and thank you for bringing this up, Councilman Kelly, and for your support, Michael Yakubov, and for the rest of you. Yes?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can I ask a personal question?
Oh, sure.
Is your son, is he close by, or is he? Let me explain what I'd like to do.
I know you know my building.
When this resolution is passed by mayor and council, I'd like to have your son to come in, and we'll be here to sign it together.
And absolutely, with the other family members, just 3 other family
We'll
members.
sign it, and he can have the pen, and
Thank you so
and
much.
also,
Stephen's father will be here along with
our
Billy
borough
Rivera.
clerk is the chairperson of the Union County Municipal Clerks, so she's going to give it out to everybody in Union County.
Thank you, I appreciate that, Mr. Mayor.
To adopt the same thing, because we get it all the time. We got the fracking resolutions from Cranford, so,
Thank you so
you know,
much. This is about saving lives.
when we do this, when we get everything together, we will give you a call, and
Yeah.
When do you anticipate the bill going on the Assembly floor for a vote?
It's right now, it's ready to go into the Appropriations Committee. It's not quite there, it's kind of moving a little slow right now. So there's time. There's
Just want to
time.
make sure.
Yeah, and I also, there's time.
how about February 5th, the council meeting? Is it possible, or the?
Sounds good to me.
Maybe the 19th. You make, if you
I'll
want to make
make the
arrangements.
19th, Ms. Mayor.
19th
The 19th would be better.
We'll do it 19th at 7 o'clock.
Right. And Billy's doing very well now in the current placement he's in at Devereaux, New Jersey. He just came out of the hospital after being in the hospital in crisis for 3 months, and they did wonders. And we have our son back, but I will not stop advocating for all the other families with the developmentally disabled in New Jersey. I just want to thank you.
So we'll put it down for the 19th,
The 19th?
7 o'clock, right
7?
after the pledge, and then we'll,
Thank you.
photo op, we'll do the whole 9 yards.
Thank you so much.
The borough clerk will get it out to the municipalities, and hopefully, we can, once we ask the municipalities in Union County to, if they adopt it, to send us a copy of it, and then we'll forward it to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, she's on a state too. What?
Oh, well, you and I had to talk.
I can email it to the entire Municipal Clerks Association of the state of New Jersey.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Anybody federal?
Excuse me.
Anybody federal?
Part of the secret of being able to be married for 39 years is always let her speak first.
I'm learning.
No, I want to join my wife and thank you.
Just your name, please.
Sorry. I'm Stuart Cray, 137 Charlotte Terrace, here in Roselle Park. I'll be a resident in town going on 50 years this January 28th. Matter of fact, that's my birthday. So the two always seem to coincide. Again, this is a very important endeavor we've been pursuing, and I just want to go on and say, Billy's had a number of hardships and abuses, but he's also had a lot of good people in his life. A lot of them live in this town here. He's had a lot of support from Roselle Park. He was a student of the Roselle Park school system, even though he didn't attend school here. The special services portion of the Board of Education gave us a lot of support over the years. So I want to always, sort of retrospect, thank all those people, along with a number of other people in this community who helped both our son Billy and our older son too. All right, so that's another reason why we've stayed in Roselle Park as long as we have. It's a community whose best product is known for is taking care of its kids, both able and disabled. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. We'll be in touch.
Thank you very much.
Keep you in touch as it goes on.
Oh, I definitely will.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak, please come forward.
Jacob McGarrett, 612 Sheridan Avenue, Roselle Park. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, viewing audience, members of council, Mr. Mayor Hokuson, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
May I say, you don't have to put your hand up anymore.
Hey,
You're the mayor.
I'm sorry,
You're the
just
mayor.
a habit.
Number one, both Mr. Kirsten and I met the mayor, Mayor Hokuson, the other night on the one-seat ride from Roselle Park to Penn Station. And you want to see some of those people that went away, they were fighting for that one seat. About 20 of them wanted to sit there.
Can you explain that?
I'd like to donate, these were very hard to get by.
Yes, they were.
But
You fought for it.
donate it to the mayor and council, if you guys want to send it over to the Historic Society, etc. And I have the schedule, which you had, Mr. Mayor, and I have 2 unused tickets, if you want to send them over to.
Yeah, we will.
This is another historic moment for the Raritan Valley because they had their first evening ride. And here's a schedule. And this schedule is for the one-seat ride. Okay. Number one, Mr. Mayor, there are too many cars in the parking lot. I don't know, if not enough people here to be taking up all the parking spots. Can we find out where those cars came from? Resolution 45. Terminating the appointment of Neglia Engineering as Superintendent of Public Works. And then we go to 54, Resolution 54-15. Appointment of Mark Pasquale to the position of Superintendent of Public Works. It's a little confusing. He was employed priorly with, you want to put your hand
you will give us, till the end of the meeting, resolution 5415 will be pulled. We will be discussing it in closed session, and we'll be going back into open session. So if you can just bear with me for however long, you will get your answer.
No problem.
Okay.
And I thank Councilman Kelly for bringing up a number of items. Nicholas, were you sitting on a pen or needle or compact?
No, why do you ask?
Welcome. Good. And also Councilman Yakubov. It's the right time. And also Councilman Eugene Miola, Councilman Joe Petrosky have hit the ground running. The two heavyweights. They're going to balance the council. Ladies and gentlemen, the audience, viewing audience, members of council, Mr. Mayor Wilkerson.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. And thank you for the donations. They were very hard to come by.
And we displayed it here in the borough?
Yeah, we displayed that here for a while.
I mean, historical society.
Yeah, well, yeah, we
decided we're
can
doing
display
it.
that for a while, and then we can
I
give
think it's
it, give it to the Historical Society. Yeah.
I think that would be
Very, very nice.
We had a big battle.
Give it up, Jake.
And I'd like to, in fact, to thank Sal for those wonderful pictures that he took.
Want to take it ready?
Yes. Okay, thank you. Oh,
Sorry, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry.
I forgot to mention that as soon as I get my business cards, I'll be handing them out to the people of the First Ward. So if anybody sees me on the front porch, don't be scared, open the door. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Anyone else?
Okay.
Not tonight? Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you were here in the beginning of the meeting. I don't know if you heard me, but I did thank you personally for giving me your tickets to me that I gave to the Historical Society because I bought my ticket in Cranford. So that gentleman was nice enough to give me his ticket that he met me in. It started all the way up in Raritan, the whole line. And every mayors and people that were involved with this historic feature came in. I went to Cranford, I guess, to be with the hoopla, and all of a sudden I said, oh, I should have bought my ticket in Roselle Park. I thought we were going to get on for free, but nah, didn't get on. I had to pay the ticket. So thank you, Sal, for your kind donation to me. So, and I donated them to him. So thank you, Sal, for that. Seeing no one coming forward, at this time I'd like to have a motion to close the public portion.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. At this time, may I please have a motion that the minutes be approved pending any corrections?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that minutes be approved pending any corrections.
Second.
Okay, do I have a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Council President, may I have a motion that the bills and the payrolls be read, not read, and passed for payment?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ordinance for second reading. May I have a motion that the public hearing on ordinance number 2431, 2431 be open?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that the public hearing on ordinance number 2431 be open.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, at this time, the public portion for ordinance number 2431 is open to the public. Please come up, state your name and address, and it is only for the ordinance, please.
Saul Kiersden, 150 Berwyn Street. I presume the bolded section is the section that's been added or amended?
Yes, sir.
Just for recollection, what was the difference, what was it before?
It was in 2009 that, oh. You want to know? Oh. In 2009 was an ordinance passed back then when I first came on, that all the business would be in the front and the park would be now in the rear.
Correct.
And it stagnated for 4 years, a major development. And I sat down with the developer, I sat down with members of council to change it. That the parking is going to be basically anywhere. The plans will be front, back, and sides of any building that, now is being erected or built.
And does it require, I guess, because the other ordinance section I read was landscaping, so that will the buffer, I guess, between
it will not be a barren, blacktop sidewalk road. There will be shrubberies, plants, bushes, but nothing that's going to adhere, to a height where it's going to be blocking the view of the parking lot and or of the buildings themselves.
So to make it, I guess, look more pleasing.
Huh?
To make it look more pleasing.
I can.
I agree. Yeah.
It actually used to say, number one, no parking shall be permitted between the building line and the street line.
Right.
That
Okay.
is now deleted to replace the parking.
So then for businesses, to allow for more parking up front and a setback, we allow for that to happen.
Right, so if the gentleman wanted to build a building up close to the sidewalk, he may, he put the parking in the back. The plans are calling that this developer is putting a building in the middle of the parking lot. So he's going to have parking in the front, he's going to have parking in the back, he's going to have parking on both sides.
And this is for the entire borough?
Yes.
Within whatever the
I'm
deemed...
sorry, no, I'm sorry, B3 zone.
For it's all businesses within that B3 zone?
Yes.
And I guess anyone else who would want to do it outside would have to come in for a variance?
No.
But outside B3?
Oh, outside B3, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Mayor, just for the record, on the minute vote, I'm going to note that Councilman Miola and Petrosky did not vote because they were not here in December.
Okay.
Okay? These are minutes are December 18th,
Yes.
December 30th. So
No.
I'm just going to
Well,
note that they
they
didn't
sat
vote.
here, but, okay.
Yeah,
All
they sat
right, no
here.
problem. Totally understood. Anybody else wishing to come up and speak? Whatever it is, it just killed my knee. All right, may I have a motion to close? I'm sorry. What?
Just want to clarify that in addition to the shrubbery, this will eliminate the requirement that you cannot have parking. I should say the requirement that you cannot have parking in the front.
Remember,
Let me read you exactly what was deleted.
this is changing the previous ordinance, which inhibited the ability for any developer to build in that zone and have front side parking, which was placed into an ordinance a couple of years ago intentionally to inhibit that individual from developing.
Right.
Okay, making sure.
Okay, we're good. What was totally deleted was the sentence that said, no parking shall be permitted between the building line and the street line. That was totally removed.
The former Mayor Carter's ordinance is being changed.
It wasn't Mayor Carter.
He was the one who brought it up.
No, he made a little bit of an issue, and I don't want to put words in the gentleman's mouth, because I don't like to do that. This was done in 2009, the mayor before Mr. Carter.
No, they were together. It was voted by the council at the time. That particular ordinance. I remember it.
Right, 2009, yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Right,
That was,
so that-
I'm just trying to relate it to what I'm thinking about the right thing.
Okay. And just for the record, for TV audience and members of mayor and council, this was presented to the Municipal Land Use Board at their meeting, and they sent it back with no changes, we have their
I
blessing.
think it's great, because I think their initial recommendation through NACES was to have this, and I think it's great that it's back, and it's the right thing to do, and I appreciate
And
you
I'm not
doing that, so.
And just for my sake, I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth, because I don't do that, but I'm glad to see that we're moving somewhat in the right direction. Yes, I would love to have brown brick stone buildings built at the curb, but I'm not going to, me personally, I don't want it to have to go another umpteen years. If all goes well, this developer is going to be in front of the Municipal Land Use Board in February. And if all goes well, he promises he'll have 2 buildings up by the end of summer.
Another part of it, and I apologize for that, I think it's really important, because this is something I've been talking about, you've talked about. Not only is this ordinance will give that developer in that area the ability to build a product, it'll also elevate his value of his property. And as a result, you might get a higher end type of business coming in, as opposed to what you may have had initially when he would have had to have a lower amount of rent because he, or over exuberant amount of rent rather, or
I will be keeping members of council. I'm not going to lie to you. I did meet with the developer. I met him twice. He's very energetic. He wants to. He lives in Elizabeth, but he feels that he's Roselle Park, not a Parker, but he cares. So I'm glad to see that council and the Municipal Land Use Board, because now we can get movement done. And the nice thing about it also is that this could possibly open up some areas for the other businesses across the street. For their tenants. I mean, not the tenants, their
patients and shoppers.
So I thank everybody, and may I have a motion that ordinance number 2431, 2431 be adopted on a second reading? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we did that.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2431.
Second.
Okay. Now I read it? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now I can read it?
Now you read it.
I'm still a little nervous. Okay, may I have a motion that the ordinance number 2431, 2431 be adopted on a second reading and be advertised as prescribed by law?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that ordinance number 2431 be adopted on second reading and advertised as prescribed by law.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please call and make a roll call, please?
Councilman Yocumbo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Story.
Yes.
Councilman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilman Omarasi.
Yes.
Councilman Miola.
Yes.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Municipal Land Use Board. Thank you. Progress is, we're going that way. All right, at this time, all matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council, and we will approve by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a matter of the governing body, a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general order. Madam Clerk, can I please have resolutions 40-15 read to 40-54-15, please?
Resolution 4015 is accepting the resignation of Carl Pacino from the position of Deputy Code Enforcement Officer effective January 23rd, 2015. 4115, authorizing a medical leave of absence for Angelo Rossi, Plumbing Subcode Official Inspector, from January 12, 2015 to February 20, 2015. 4215, appointing Martin J. Keeney III as temporary Plumbing Subcode Official Inspector from January 12, 2015 through February 20th, 2015, at the annual salary of $8,978.36. 4315 is appointing Richard Huxford as Special Prosecutor for 2015. 4415, authorizing the Treasurer to issue checks totaling $4,213.46 payable to multiple lien holders for redemption of 5 tax sale certificates and checks totaling $3,600 from the tax collector's premium account. 4515, terminating the appointment of Negley Engineering as Superintendent of Public Works. 4615, authorizing change order number 3 and final to Carroll Corporation for the project West Grand Avenue Improvements Phase 2 in the amount of $12,672.76 decrease. 4715, accepting construction and authorizing final payment in the amount of $7,927.72 to Carroll Corporation for the project West Grand Avenue Improvements Phase 2. 4815, accepting the retirement of Joseph Gregory from the position of full-time school crossing guard. 4915, appointing Jacqueline Flatley to the position of full-time school crossing guard. 5015 is appointing 4 alternate school crossing guards. 5115 is the appointment of alternate civil court officers. 5215, temporary appointment of Robert Della Rosa to perform smoke and carbon monoxide detector inspections. 5315 is the temporary appointment of Jesse Atwell to perform apartment inspections. And 5415 is appointing Mark Pasquale to the position of Superintendent of Public Works.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, does anybody on council wish to pull any of the resolutions?
I don't know, I don't want to pull a resolution, I just want to recognize 48/15, Mr. Gregory. I know this man for many years, he's a fine individual, and he will be missed as a crossing guard. All the kids like him. But I understand he's getting up there in age, he likes to sleep in instead of getting up so early in this cold weather. It's aching his bones, and I don't blame him. So I want to congratulate him and his retirement. So I don't want to pull it, I just want to recognize him. And if I can get him in here, I'd like to do it personally.
I'm all in favor at the next meeting, or I'm going to just be discussing something that I'd like to institute as a program here.
And 4015, Mr. Placino, congratulating him on his new position. Wish him all the best of luck. I was looking forward to working with him, but I'm sure he'll do fine wherever he goes. And maybe I can even call him up if I have any questions. And that's all, I don't want to pull it.
Are you going to invite Mr. Gregory to the next meeting,
Yes,
and I'll put it on the agenda? February 3rd? Okay.
I have a few I'd like to pull off the agenda. 4015, 4115, 4315, 4015, 4115, just small, quick questions. 4315, 4515, 4915, 5315, and 5415. Sorry.
It's all right.
Good question.
I'll be quick, I promise.
Well, basically, let's just do a little separate, all right? Because I got a couple of comments.
They're very quick questions.
I
think it's important to recognize some people.
Me personally, I've said it for 6 years, I don't have any problem giving out information and discussing things. So, I'm asking my borough attorney, I got like 7 of them I want to pull, so. All right, we're going to do each one individually. All right, 40-15, any comments? Got Mr. Pacino?
I do. I know he came, and I think it's important. You know, Carl's been, can I say the name? I mean, he's on here, so Carl Placino has been the code official, the zoning official. I mean, he's done so much for this borough, above and beyond of what his job is. And, you know, to live in town and be a code official is very hard, because you do piss a lot of people off in the process, obviously. And I'm sure, you know, and there have been times that, you know, his life has been threatened and his property has been destroyed at his own home, and, you know, he's a resident of this borough. And I just want everyone to recognize that. And, you know, we all, including me, have had differences in maybe how he may have handled something here or there, but he was doing his job. And even, you know, he never said, oh, this is a council person, or this was that one. I had stairs redone, and they had to actually excavate a little bit further deep underneath when they actually took off the old stairs, which I needed only a smaller permit. He was on the site, he said he needs to get an extended permit, and I appreciated that. And I just really want to recognize Mr. Lucino for his effort. I've had the pleasure of working with him in his capacity as a code officer, and I just really appreciated the fact that, right or wrong, agree to disagree, he kept me abreast of everything that was going on in the borough, any issue he had. He's always willing to come by, pick me up, and we go together. Although that's, if you're a council person and you're running for re-election, not a good idea to ride with the code officer, just FYI. Just really want to acknowledge him. I know we usually do this when somebody retires, but I would like to bring him in and give him something in recognition. I think it's deserved in his years of service to the borough. You know, and whatever the council deems appropriate, certificate or something, because you know he's run the martial arts program. I mean, he's done so much in this borough of his own time outside. So if anything, we could recognize him not just as his capacity as an employee, but just as a citizen who's so involved in the community. And I think that would be a great initiative, maybe to kick it off and do that, just to recognize people for all the accomplishments that they do. And I know we have plenty to choose from. So I'll leave it to your discretion, Mr. Mayor, and I just wanted to make those comments.
That's fine. Anybody else on 40-15? I think outstanding. All I can say is ditto. I've called him day and night. He's been there for me. So, you know, Carl, you know, thank you. And, good luck. So with that, Madam Clerk, 40-15, we got
I'll make the
all
motion.
in favor? Take him up. Motion?
I make the motion.
You make the motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 41-15. I got a comment. Mr. Rossi is our plumbing code inspector. He is going out on a medical leave, so I wish him all a speedy recovery. So, Mr. Rossi, please get well and get back to us as soon as possible.
That's what I wanted to say as well, and just to make sure, the temporary, once Mr. Rossi is able to come back, that temporary is off the books, right? Okay, that's all I have for that.
Do I have a motion, please, for 41-15?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 42-15. You see in the figure $8,978.36. If you go back to 41-15, that goes to Mr. Rossi. Mr. Rossi will be paying, the gentleman will be paying out of his money. This is not an additional $8,978. It is not additional.
And it's
already,
Mr. Mayor, sorry to interrupt, it is prorated, that is the annual salary. So
yeah, well, that's,
just for
that
clarification.
we would pay Mr. Rossi, but since he's out of medical,
So he's not getting for that duration of time, $8,900?
no.
That's the
Only while
annual.
Mr. Rossi is
I
out.
understand, just the way it reads though.
Well, that's the annual, you appropriate it for,
Yeah.
you get
Why
like.
that, like 12 months?
Does everybody understand? It's not costing taxpayers another $8,000, okay? All right? Do I have a motion for 42-15?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 43-15, appointing Mr. Rich Herbert as a special prosecutor. Let me explain why we're doing this, folks. In 2014, Mr. Huxford was the borough prosecutor. He has pending cases that he is well aware of. He knows the witnesses, he knows the evidence, he knows the proceedings that are going on already. So instead of bringing in somebody new for 2015, we're going to let Mr. Huxford finish the cases that he's already started. So this is...
That's what I thought it was, I just wanted to be sure.
It's not...
Very special to me, but I
And,
wanted
and,
to
and it's
make sure that's what it was.
zero.
Perfect. I
Zero.
appreciate it.
So does everybody
Thanks for the
understand?
clarification.
TV land, it's because of pending cases. He knows the evidence, he knows the witnesses, he knows the case. That's the reason why we need to expedite, because as you know, they may come in and say due to lack of prosecution, they want the case dismissed. So these are very important cases that need to be resolved, and Mr. Huxford's handling them, and that's why, we did that. 45-15, I'm sorry, 43-15, 40-15, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, 44-15. 44-15, do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 45-15, we'll explain that when we go back into open session. I'm pulling that one and the other one for closed, and I'll explain to it when we go back into open. 46-15, motion?
Motion.
All in favor? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 47-15, motion?
I move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 48-15, we already spoke about Mr. Joe Gregory, great guy. I worked with Joe many, many years when I was on the PD, when I was his boss. He used to tell me a few things, but he's a great guy. Joe, we're gonna miss you. You were dedicated. So, do I hear a motion for 48-15?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 49-15, motion? Second? Jackie Flatley, school board.
Yeah, I just also want to point out, anytime we appoint anybody or somebody leaves, obviously, people come and go, but it's really important just to acknowledge, because Ms. Flatley, I know her personally as well, and I know others do. She's just also a very dedicated resident to the borough, and I think she's well deserving. I think she'll do an incredible job. I think she's waited patiently, for an opportunity to come, and it has come for her, and I'm really thankful for that. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. So thank
Very
you.
good. I know Jackie too, and she's dedicated, another great Parker. Do I hear a motion for 49-15?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
50-15, do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 51-15, motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think this is the first time in history we've done this. Okay, 52-15, temporary appointment of Bobby Della Rosa to perform smoke and carburetion monoxide detector inspection. Ladies and gentlemen, since Mr. Pacino is leaving, he is responsible for those inspections. Until we find somebody to replace that position, Bobby Della Rosa, our electrical inspector, is doing it for us until we fill that position, at no cost to the borough.
He's doing apartments, but who's in the
No,
homes?
no, you're getting ahead.
Jumping on you?
You're getting ahead. 53. 52 is for houses and businesses.
I got you.
Bobby Della Rosa is doing it because Carl Pacino is doing it since he's leaving. He's got time on the books. Bobby's doing it for us free of charge until we find a replacement. Okay? Everybody got that? Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Councilman Yuckenbach. Jesse Atwell is our construction official. He has the license to do the apartments. He is doing it until we find to replace Carl Pacino. So Bobby and Jesse are doing the inspections of the carbon monoxide and the smoke for apartments, buildings, and homes. And Jesse's also doing it free of charge until we are replaced Mr. Pacino's position.
So for homes in particular, this is apartment inspections.
You would call home and businesses, you would call Mr. Della Rosa.
Okay.
For an apartment complex, you would call Mr. Atwell.
Very
Okay? So do I hear a motion for 53-15?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
good. Aye.
Okay, 54-15, I will discuss this in closed session with everybody. Upon recommendation of council, we will go back into open session and give the findings of what we've done. 54-15 and 45-15. Is everybody with that? Do I hear a motion that would pull them to go to closed? Okay, all right. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions? We just did it, but we'll do it again officially. All right? We'll do it anyway. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution on the consent agenda? We already did it, but all in favor? did it, Marty, we pulled them all off. Okay, may I have a motion to approve? Oh, we did that. Oh, we're done. Wow. I think that's the first time in the 6 years I've been on council we went through every one. Maybe we should do that every day.
I think we should.
Only a suggestion.
I think we should.
I think we should. I like it. Okay. Now. Okay. You're gonna have to bear with me, because this is all, everybody moves up on the next appointments. Everybody follows me. Accepting the resignation of Frank Galicchio as a member of the Municipal Land Use Board. Frank did a great job many years. We should also bring him in. I thank you. Appointing Jay Rubina as a Class 1 member of the Municipal Land Use Board to fill the unexpired term of Frank Galicchio. Appointing Rich Graves as a Class 2 member of the Municipal Land Use Board, an expired term of Carl Pacino. We need a borough employee on the board, Municipal Land Use Board. That's the reason why Richie is being appointed. Appoint, Madam Clerk, you just finished that.
Sure. Appoint Paul Viamonte as alternate 1 member of the Municipal Land Use Board to fill the unexpired term of Jay Rubina, expiring 12/31/16. Appointing Jerry Vitale as alternate 2 member of the Municipal Land Use Board to fill the unexpired term of Paul Viamonte, expiring 12/31/16. Appointing Owen Ungerman as alternate 3 member of the Municipal Land Use Board to fill the unexpired term of Jerry Vitale, expiring 12/31/15. Appointing Ruben Shaw as alternate 4 member of the Municipal Land Use Board to fill the unexpired term of Owen Ungerman, expiring 12/31/15. And appointing Jonathan Bate, 130 Berwyn Street, Roselle Park, as a member of the Roselle Park Fire Department, effective immediately to be assigned to Lorraine Blue.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, members of council, I apologize for this little cold I got, and I do apologize. All right, ladies and gentlemen, members of council, as you know, on January 2nd, we had a reorg meeting, and we made all the appointments. Okay? Since one of the members is resigning, Mr. Frank Galicchio, everybody just moves up a peg. So that's the reason why all these names were being read tonight. Does everybody follow? Okay? All right, and the firemen, again, thank him for supporting and going to school, you know, to make our towns. So that's what I forgot. Make our town. Ladies and gentlemen, who's over here, and TV land, I don't know if you saw in the on Facebook that of the 353 municipalities in the state of New Jersey, Roselle Park is 95th. So I'm asking you, members of council, my organizations, let's try to break the top 10 within the next year or two. They did a great job. Volunteers, first aid, fire, everybody, council, giving them what they need, and members supporting them. So I should have given that in my original report, but Roselle Park ranks 95th out of 353 municipalities in the borough. So, huh?
In safety.
In safety. In safety. In safety. And that's always been my #1 priority. In the 6 years I've been on council, will always be my #1 priority as long as I'm up on this council. And I appreciate the councils before me, the mayors before me, and I appreciate everybody working with me up here tonight. So, okay. With that, okay. Whereas, the mayor and council of Borough of Roselle Park wish to discuss matters which are described in the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act, the Sunshine Law, NJSA 10:4-12, and whereas the general nature of the subjects to be discussed in closed session are: 1, contract negotiations with DPW; 2, possible litigation with the SID, the Special Improvement District, and possible litigation with a tenant up in Colfax Manor, and also resolution number 45-15 and resolution 54-15 will be discussed in closed session. Okay, at this time, may I have a motion to go into adjourn to go into closed? No, I'm sorry. May I have a motion to go into closed session?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are in closed session. Thank you. Oh, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're closed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we discussed 5 items in closed session: the contract negotiations with the DPW, the litigation with the SID, Special Improvement District, and a resident possible litigation up in Colfax Manor, and on Resolution 4515 and Resolution 5415, 3 litigations that I just mentioned in just now. There's still only be litigation. Okay? And Resolutions 4515 and Resolution 5415 are tabled to the next meeting. As a motion. Do I have a motion to table 4515 and 5415 to the next meeting in February?
Mayor, I so move.
I'll second, and I have a comment.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hold on.
My comment is a question to our attorney. Because it was a contract negotiation discussion, is this contract a public document that somebody could open tomorrow? Because it hasn't been signed in, because the employee...
Not a contract.
So it's not actually a contract?
No.
Correct. So it's
It's a
just
working document.
it's a working document of which the labor attorney hasn't reviewed?
Right.
Okay, so that's one part. Can I talk about the contents in the document? The reason I'm doing this is because I want to point out all the questions that I had, so it's out there in the public.
Council, with regards to the content of the document, it is a closed session now.
So it's a public document, which is a working document, but it's a working document.
It was discussed in closed session.
Contract negotiations, anything in there are part of contract negotiations.
Okay.
That's like.
Okay. So before it's voted on, next time I could ask these questions to be answered then. Correct? I'm just trying to get to the bottom line. At what point can the public know the part that they should know about the potential cost to the municipality? I'm just asking a question, general question. Can I ask these questions before we vote on it next time? Or we have to go back into closed session, discuss it there, come out, vote on it, make a decision, and then I could express whatever my feelings may or may not be at the time? Okay, very good. So I'll reserve my comments to that point. Thank you.
At this time, do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.